Alright, welcome back. It's GaiaDude439, and I have an interesting video for you all today, for reasons I don't care to elaborate on. And by that, I mean me and my friend finished our first satirical fanfiction or whatever. I don't think anybody cares, so I'm not going to keep talking about it. Go read it. It's called Reality Remastered Volume 1, 7 Branch Sword.
So here we go. I'm about to make myself retarded.
Anyway, now that I'm done embarrassing myself, I'm gonna go ahead and embarrass other people on this dumb site called Wattpad. I'm like 90% sure that if you've had access to the internet for more than 12 seconds, you've heard of Wattpad, no doubt, and its reputation as one of the cringiest websites on the internet is quite an understatement. Normally, I don't like to make fun of people for their preferences and their thought processes and the sort, and I do believe it's important to be open-minded. With all that being said, it's hard not to laugh at some of the absurd things that you can find on this forsaken website. To set a precedent of what kind of website I'm presenting you guys with, take a look at this screenshot I took. Really absorb the nonsense before your eyes. I didn't even look anything up for this. I'm sure this was just on the main page. Seriously, an insert you and your crush fanfic? That's a little creepy. What even is King Alpha's human mate? I don't think the English language has ever seen that string of words ever used in that order before. And let's not forget the classic he washes, she knows, where, and I'm not making this up, it says the following in the description, quote, "He's her stalker, he's not creepy or anything, he's just a guy in love and afraid to shoot his shot. He's this big scary looking guy who looks like he bulldozers people." I can't read any more of this, there's just no way this stuff is real. Set aside the fact that the description of the book basically glorifies stalking, I am pretty certain a lot of these books are written by angsty teens, as I've heard tossed around every now and then. I believe it. The low quality of a lot of these stories, in more than a few ways, is astounding. But what kind of person would I be to make fun of kids? On second thought, let's just move on. I looked up Odyssey, for whatever reason, and I came across a story called Heart Meets at Perfect Time. And then in parentheses, it says Odyssey. Whatever that's supposed to mean. Funnily enough, this isn't the strangest thing you'll see on this page. If you scroll down a bit, you're bound to find something at the very least concerning or laughable. Also, you'll notice that the book scores number 53 in the list of books with inspiration tags, so congratulations for that. That's not what catches my eye though. I know it's nitpicking, but I was pretty certain that the cover of the book was, surprise surprise, not made by the person who wrote the book. After reverse image searching, I got nowhere and my results were inconclusive. Go figure. The actual funny thing about this book that caught my eye is the description of the book. For like 90% of the synopsis thing, it's fairly normal and standard as far as love stories are concerned. In fact, perhaps one of the better introductions, I'd say, in terms of the website. This doesn't compare to actual established authors like Sun Tzu or whatever. Ignoring the fact that one of the main characters' names is Kevin or Kaven, which is funny to me, but that's besides the point. You'll notice the very last line of the synopsis is Magaka Kaios Papa Sila with a question mark for good measure. I tried looking this phrase up and I just got mixed results. After using Google Translate, I found that the phrase meant, will they still get along? Ended in Filipino. There's obviously nothing wrong with using Filipino in your book, but I wonder why the author decided that they would write the majority of it in English and then throw in a Filipino phrase in untranslated. I'm actually just curious. I'm not making fun of them for this, I just want to know if this is common or something. Anyway, my journey through this website led me to this edgy looking book where I managed to take a screen recording that surprisingly was more than 4 frames per second. It's called Lannis, apparently, and I gotta admit, I was expecting to find something laughably cringy here, but even for a screenplay, this isn't half bad. Granted, I did find out, given a couple of minutes, that the book cover isn't exactly an original work either. Not that you care. However, it is kind of a shame that something that seems so deep and well put together as Lannis goes unseen just because it doesn't have the word alpha or wolf husband or cryptocurrency in the tags. Speaking of cryptocurrency, I looked up Bitcoin and I found like one result, which surprised me, but at least something good came out of that. If good is even the appropriate word here. Nothing good comes out of this website. Nothing that I could find, at least. I don't know. I'm not as open-minded as I claim. The book in question is only one chapter though, so I didn't mind reading it. It looks like what they did is they wrote a very basic, long-winded joke and then typed a really big number before calling it a day. I noticed the inspired by list, and I don't feel like saying half of them out loud. So I'll just show you the comment I left on the story in relation to the author's dog. Also, the header image for this book is Big Wins, and it was the jackpot thingy that happens in casinos, and I don't know, it just looked funny to me. I came across this random book again through random means. It's called If Ninjago Was a Comedy, and it features the most basic looking Google Slides template I've ever seen for a book cover. I wouldn't necessarily call this book a book per se. I ignored the description of the book because it seemed more rude than anything and looked at some of the chapters. If the chapter titles weren't nonsensical enough, take a look at the actual contents of the book. What is happening? Why does it feel like someone typed out a skit for a meme? Maybe because they did and that's all the book is. It's so pointless. Just make like a Twitter account or something to post these weirdly specific comedy sketches on instead of a Wattpad story where I guarantee nobody will see it. Not enough alpha wolf pack sigmas for the Wattpad audience to care. At least the author seems mildly self-aware. Here's one I've been waiting for. I intentionally am not showing you the title or cover or anything right off the bat, but take a look at these somewhat normal titles. You get epic titles like Wake Up, Jerk Landlord, Already Enrolled, My Mistake Dear Reader, Again and Again Till There's No Again, Ready, Set, Go. Why all the question marks? It's starting soon, kinda. That's an interesting title. Oh, they also have a title called English, but then you look down and you see Frisk's Perspective, and I think from that specific sentence alone, you get an idea of what this is we're looking at, despite me never telling you the name or description of the book. Yep, that's right, it's called I'm a Sans AU Sans X AU Reader, I think. Whatever, just a bunch of nonsense. We've gotten past the phase where everyone calls Undertale and its fanbase cringy. And I'll admit, I don't like calling people's interests cringy if they aren't hurting anyone, but you would not believe how hard I laughed initially reading all that. It was a wild ride. Also, I'll make fun of any story that has a reader in the title, because then I know the audience it appeals to is... Yeah, anyways, let's read that description. Just kidding, I'm not reading all this. It's incomprehensible. I especially find it funny that the author clarified that the main character whose perspective you are supposed to follow was a 15-year-old girl that perished in a car accident. Yep, nothing weird about that, huh? And it's discontinued, but I'm not complaining about that. I scrolled to the bottom of this one to see what humanity missed out on, since this thing seems to be discontinued. One of the last chapters was titled Dream's Perspective, and I was really hoping the story included the Minecraft YouTuber Dream for literally no reason, because, I don't know, the comedy would write itself at that point. Sadly, it was not that. It was just, as far as I could tell, just sappy fanfic stuff. I don't like the word quirky, but if I had to describe what this book was trying to be, with a one word, it would be that. The last chapter of the book explained why the author stopped writing the book, and to their credit, they acknowledged that there were a lot of problems with the plot, and they just didn't have time to finish the book or whatever. To be honest, it's totally understandable, but still I wanted to make fun of this because I'm a mean person. I'm embarrassed to even have to mention this book, but it introduced me to a new genre of nonsense. I feel like I've said this a dozen times, but it's hard to call this book titled Funny MHA Picks 2 a book for obvious reasons. I guess it could counter a picture book. Anyways, the acclaimed sequel of Funny MHA Picks 1 by the famed author Cormac McCarthy is memes. I think that's it. They aren't even that funny either, though that comes with the territory of anime memes. Just kidding, of course, kind of. I am ashamed to admit I actually read this one, but it's a Vine Sauce meme where the author rates what I think to be a parody fanfiction of Vinny, I don't know, playing Persona 5 Royale. I think it's a parody or something. Most Vine Sauce related things are jokes, but I genuinely can't tell what this is. It's kind of funny though. I'm biased. It's a lot of inside jokes, of course, and also the recommended books on the side of the screen made me lose faith in humanity. I probably tell I was running out of ideas by this point because I just looked up Fire Emblem and found exactly what I expected. Fire Emblem is, of course, my favorite game series, so I decided why not ruin that for myself. I guess most of the Fire Emblem characters' ex-reader stories were fairly normal, if not kinda silly, because let's be honest, these could have been way worse. But if the book covers are anything to go off of, they're probably pretty tame. Also, I found this Fire Emblem plus Fate Stay Night fanfic. And then I went into cardiac arrest or something. This last book is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's sort of over-exaggerating, but holy cow, I don't think you're ready for this. It's called Kitty Love. And if you haven't immediately left based on that title alone, then I applaud you for your mental fortitude. Not only did I immediately notice the book cover, that looks like it came straight out of 2009, but I couldn't help but notice that the main character is named Harry, so I assumed that this was a Harry Potter fanfiction. I was correct. You probably wouldn't be able to tell that from the book cover, of course. I'm not making fun of BL writing or anything. It's totally fine to be into the things that you'll see listed here, but I just want you to get a feel for the description of the book and the ensuing tags. It goes as follows. Harry has an accident and turns into a cat. If that wasn't bad, he finds himself in the hands of his enemy. Follow Harry as he tries to find his way to freedom. Or will he want to? Doesn't seem so bad, right? Tags. Look at the tags. Male pregnancy. I'm not reading this stuff. Read it for yourself. What do these other tags even mean? You can't just tag, do not use my writings for AI, NFTs, or any other crypto. That's not a tag. That's a disclaimer. Just put it in the description, bro. What is happening? Do people even do that? Oh, and also, do not translate without permission. Not only is that a weird thing to put in the tags, but also, what are you talking about? I'm done. I can't take this anymore.
Hi.